Dear students, for today we will be discussing the module Relationship of Social and Cultural Anthropology with Political Science, Linguistics and Sociology. A discipline is composed of a body of knowledge which has its own system and set of rules. When the discipline, the sub-discipline and sub-sub-disciplines hold a strong position in the manner the knowledge is distributed, social and cultural anthropology, though a specialized section of anthropology, does not stand entirely as a separate section. It always takes the help of other sections or specializations. This branch of anthropology is also closely related with political science, linguistics and sociology. What are the relationships of social and cultural anthropology with political science? There is no society which is free from issues and conflicts. However, the social systems of each society consist of different sets of rules and regulations which provide mechanisms in order to resolve the problems of disagreements and differences. Political science is a discipline of social science which deals with the activities to bring order and consistency in the society. It studies the mechanisms and the controlling powers of any form of government. It is a social science which deals with the political processes, systems, policies, behavior of the government. In simple words, it is the study of political institutions. According to this, a particular code of conduct is required to ensure the unity and integrity of a nation or a society. It also deals with the process of investigation of all the happenings in the society by the governing bodies and resultant effects, understanding the nature of state and its forms, various developmental schemes, law and order, etc. All these organizations and institutional bodies for maintaining law and order in the society do not exist simply. It all exists based on the nature of socio-economic conditions prevalent in a society. Socio-cultural anthropologists, right from the beginning of the study of evolutionary history of mankind, relied on the forms of government, either state or stateless societies. They tried to find out the nature of leadership, network analysis of utilizing authority and power in different societies, and general policies of governing and keeping all social relationships intact. They developed the interest of studying the forms of government in different parts of the world and especially after the World War II to know the consequences of the colonialization and changing perspectives of different countries. The approaches of political science focus on the maintenance of a system or government based on the nature and contributions of the formal and informal institutions, the use of it for understanding mankind and its society, whereas social anthropologists deal with it to a varied extent. Political science also uses the knowledge and approaches of social and cultural anthropological study for the study of politics. In the first instance, socio-cultural anthropologists always study the evolutionary history of a particular state or government. In exploring the stages of evolution, many factors such as family, marriage and kinship, beliefs, rituals, defense and balance of conflicts, food for existence are considered and have become the historical landmarks of a particular state or society. They study the behavior of people from the social, economic and political aspects. In studying the process of development of new nations, there is always an association with the structures peculiar to the society of a particular nation. However, political science or literatures of the nation seem to neglect and directly dealt with the legislative or established bodies of government. The relevance of new states will be visible only when particular features of politics which are relevant and peculiar to the given area are involved. For this, a detailed study of historical sources, a descriptive integration of events truly meaningful and reflective to the community in order to make a balance in the enrichment of the body of knowledge is necessary. In this regard, social and cultural anthropologists dealt with various approaches and methods to bring the information which is unique, peculiar and better for understanding the general perspectives. They are always involved with the extraction of information in order to understand the social structures and the milieu associated, in order to uncover the realities. Comparative study of social systems across the cultures in terms of interrelated parts, social behavior and social institutions is the subject matter of social anthropology. Social anthropology also studies the complex societies which are much more relevant. In the process of studying a society, political scientists acquired new knowledge of social and cultural anthropological methods, assessment and approaches for the explanation and interpretation of data. In order to know the political development, the changes associated in the socio-political systems, the conflict situations of the society is also necessary. For this, a thorough analysis of historical account of the social processes is also generally done. According to E. Pritchard, social anthropologists who are interested in the study of peasant societies of the Far East should improve and seek the historical information from China by using specialized skills of data collection to get a fresh interpretation of the recorded data and proper explanations of various events along with the changes involved. The political notion of a society provides various amenities and provisions to the weaker sections as well as underprivileged. Various other areas of understanding society such as marriage rules, dowry systems, employment, social and legal sanctions of morality are all concerned of the subject matter of social and cultural anthropologies, which are very much the basics of political science. Government and other institutions form laws to make balance or solve the problems of various issues which are the focus of social and cultural anthropologists at the minute and micro levels. Now, what are the differences between the political science and social and cultural anthropology? Despite the affinity between these two disciplines, they remain as a separate discipline. The focus area of political science remains within the domain of state or government, while social and cultural anthropology covers a broader area. It covers all aspects and facets of human and human society from different perspectives, while politics covers more or less the political institutions of society or politically relevant sections of social institutions. Such groundwork cannot be successfully done until and unless political scientists adopt the techniques and worldviews of the social and cultural anthropologists. Language is the best means to express and solve various problems in transmitting cultures, in providing a blueprint for understanding different societies and cultures of the world. Language keeps on changing in reaction to various social, cultural, economic, political, and environmental factors. It is used in the communication of the social groups of the same or different region or position. Language itself has different speech and dialects which varies among the peoples and regions. Linguistics is a subject studying languages. As early as the early part of 18th century, people started studying different language families and its relationships linguistically. In due course of time, they also focused on the comparative studies of languages. Among the anthropologists, Franz Boas was also one who studied the Native American languages by using comparative methods of languages. Anthropologists study various languages and its function in relation with the societies, culture, music, art, livelihood, statuses of the languages practiced at different levels such as familial level, political, economic or informal institutions, etc. The socio-cultural anthropologists who deal with languages and speeches, particularly known as linguistic anthropologists, usually viewed it at three different levels. The first level is technical level of language used in anthropology. Social and cultural anthropologists generally seek the help to learn languages of the native or community with which they are supposed to work. Some of the languages are very exotic and unwritten, which are spoken by very few and is on the verge of extinction. Fieldwork for a long duration of stay cannot be successful by relying on interpreters. Learning the language becomes inevitable to get a meaningful study. A pragmatic level of language is the second level of studying language. When there is a study on a particular area, then one is necessary to get data of the region or people which can be provided by the linguistic data. It can be of written or oral information retrieved from the region. The third is the level of explanation. Whenever there is a study, collection of data and process of learning languages are involved. In the process of explanation of various phenomena of study, the linguistic explanation is quite necessary. The level of explanation may be about the language, society, culture or the place. The understanding of the socio-cultural aspects of a society from the linguistic point of view was very new and appreciation of it came after Malinowski's study of the Trovian islanders. The relationship between social and cultural anthropology and sociology existed for a long time, and sometimes it is difficult to find the distinction between the two disciplines. Sociology deals with the matter of social and cultural anthropology, paying more attention on society and culture, particularly in studying social institutions and network of relationships in the society. It studies man as a social animal and uses various data of anthropologists to understand man and society. It is the study of human behavior at the individual as well as collective levels in the systematic organizational structure. It also studies the contemporary modern societies, new developments and consequences which brought changes in the already existing structure and nature of society. Sociologists generally rely much more on secondary data while making comparison with the approaches that socio-cultural anthropologists followed. However, in due course of time, changes have occurred, and now the sociologists and anthropologists use more or less the same methodologies for studying a society. As for today, now we will conclude about the relationship of social and cultural anthropology with political science, linguistics, and sociology. It provides a scope of understanding the methods and approaches one uses in studying a society for getting an appropriate meanings and interpretations. Every discipline has its own orientation with the subject matter and contributed at large in the successful venture of understanding mankind as a whole. The study of men at all levels of culture shows intimate relationship with different branches of social sciences, which in turn provide various laws of society, languages, and culture, diversities in social relations.